Folk art blending gel, folk art floating medium. Which one do I use? Why do I use it? I'm going to answer those questions and more in today's Skill Builders on the difference between blending gel and floating medium. I'm Andy Jones, content editor for Plaid's online education program, Let's Paint. In today's Skill Builder, I'm going to talk about the differences between floating medium and blending gel. People seem to get these a little bit confused, so hopefully I'm going to take the mystery out of it for you. Folk art's floating medium is designed to help the painter when you are trying to float color on a flat brush. The technique of floated color is often used to shade or highlight a given object in a painting. So I've put some floating medium on my palette. It's a clear medium and it has a nice thick consistency. So in order to float color on your brush, you need to know how to properly load your brush. So I'm going to fill my brush full of floating medium and I'm pressing my brush down on the palette, releasing the pressure, and that pressing and releasing helps pull the medium up into the bristles of the brush, allowing you to really fill your brush full of paint. So to properly float color, don't stick the corner of your brush into your puddle of paint. The correct way to do that is to stroke your brush next to the edge of the puddle of paint. This way you're in control of how much paint you're picking up on your brush. Then you'll want to move your brush to a clean spot on your palette and begin to blend in place. To distribute the paint evenly across the brush, you'll want to flip your brush over and put the paint next to the paint and continue to blend, and you will create a loading zone on your palette. Floating medium is not designed, nor will it extend the working time of your paint. It is simply to make it easier for a painter to achieve a nice gradation of color. So blending back and forth, you can see that I'm going from a dark burgundy in the center of my loading zone and out to clear gel on either side. Many times when people try to do this using water, they allow the color to migrate completely across the brush so you don't end up with a clean, what we call a float of color. So here on this piece of illustration board, when I put the brush down, you can see that you get a beautiful transition of color, gradient from dark over to no paint whatsoever. And the floating medium is designed to allow a person to have more control over the paint in their brush than they would get with just using water alone. So that's what floating medium is designed to do. It helps you create this color gradient across your brush. Now, let's shift gears and we're going to talk about Folk Art's blending gel medium. Blending gel was designed to be a medium that slows the drying time of your acrylic paint. It is a nice gel consistency so that when you use Folk Art blending gel, you keep the consistency of the paint the same. It's not going to thin your paint out or make your paint a watery consistency. One way that I really like to use the blending gel is on a piece of unsealed wood. Now you can do this on a sealed surface just the same way, except you would use less blending gel on a sealed surface. On an unsealed surface, I'm simply going to apply some blending gel and just brush it on, and I'm just going to paint a simple heart motif here, and I'm filling it in with blending gel, and I just need to make sure that I get the entire heart painted with the gel medium. And what this is going to do, it's going to allow me extra working time so that I don't have to try to paint everything in a hurry. Acrylics were never designed to be used like oil paint, and that's the one thing every acrylic painter wants to do, is to blend with their acrylic paints like an oil painter has time to blend. The blending gel medium, when used this way, will allow you to have the extra time to actually blend paints together. So I'm going to load my brush with some light pink And this is regular folk art acrylic. Move to a clean spot on my palette and load my brush. And I'm going to apply this on the left-hand side of the heart motif. And because the blending gel is already being absorbed into the unsealed surface, it's going to allow me plenty of time to blend my acrylic paint. So I'm simply brushing this on the left side of the heart motif. And I've got plenty of time to play with this. And you could simply create a beautiful ombre effect by just blending the acrylic paint into the wet gel. I'm going to wipe my brush off, and I'm going to then pick up some bright red acrylic paint, and I'm going to apply that in the center of the heart. And because I have the blending gel down, I'm going to have plenty of time to blend the red paint into the pink paint, and I am not having to worry about my paint drying too quickly. Blending gel is a great medium to have in your arsenal of paint so that you can do special effects and blending without having to rush the process. You can blend by stroking, or you can blend by patting. Whatever style of blending that you want to do, the blending gel is going to allow you ample time to do that. Now I'm going to stroke my brush into some burgundy acrylic and blend that on my palette. And I'm going to shade the right hand side of my heart motif. And I'm not having to hurry. That's the big advantage of the blending gel, is you don't have to hurry along. You're going to have plenty of time to work with your acrylic paints. And I'm just turning that around so that it's easier for me to paint this outside edge of the heart. Always turn your work so that it's comfortable for you to paint. And then I'm just going to blend the burgundy into the red and soften that over into the pink a little bit more. And again, plenty of time to blend, and that's what makes folk art blending gel such an incredible medium to use. Gives you ample time to work with your acrylic paints and to blend them as long as you need to. When you've finished your painting, allow extra time for the blending gel to dry. Acrylic paints dry rapidly, but when you add blending gel, you need to make sure to let them dry thoroughly before painting on top of them or applying any sort of finish to them. So hopefully this has cleared up some of the mystery between folk art blending gel and folk art floating medium. The blending gel extends the drying time of the paint. The floating medium does not extend the drying time.